Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel guys. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. So guys, jubilation as Sowore and Ejmak has been regained freedom guys from Kuje Correctional Facility. So guys, the human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has just regained freedom from Kuje Correctional days after after days of tension, confusion, and widespread outrage. You guys know the story how police came and bundled him as if he's a criminal. Guys, this is not just another headline, it is a moment that has once again ignited conversations about justice, political dissent, and the rule of law in Nigeria. Guys, I feel that this part are getting Showore more because he's saying the truth. Yes, he's doing the right thing. Anybody that says the truth in Nigeria is an enemy. So I feel that I get look at the way they came to bundle him as if he's a criminal, guys. More than 50 policemen stormed, after he regained freedom, after he was bailed the first time. They stormed that his location and then they bundled him. Guys, can you imagine if it's all these terrorists now? You will not find any of them, but just look at what is his crime. What is his crime, guys? Where would they even remand him? So you can see, guys, thank God he has been released, and there's jubilation in Abuja as he was released today. Now, quickly take a look at this video where Showore said some things. Take a look, and I'll be right back.
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police
called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and no, he had.
Is he not useless?
Was not allowed.
Okay, so what's your word in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me. Since 1992, some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
Okay, the service chiefs.
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police
called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and no, he had.
Is he not useless?
Was not allowed.
Okay, so what's your word in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. Okay. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me. Since 1992, some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
Okay, the service chiefs.
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police
called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and
no,
he had.
Is he not useless?
But it's not allowed.
Okay, so what's your word to in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me since 1992. Some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know no longer is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
Okay, the service chiefs.
Do anything. They just locked him up because he protested. In fact, he came out to protest for Mazen Namdekano. And then people are saying that because he called IGP useless, even that same useless self, Chiwara is not backing out anytime soon, guys. Right in this video, you heard him say, is the IGP not useless? So why are they even wasting them? So according to what Chiwara said, he said he's no longer an IGP, he's no more in the police force. So you guys can see how many times will they keep on arresting Sowore, because the way it is, Sowore is not backing down anytime soon. So there's no need for making arresting and arresting him. And then why would the IGP be looking at comments? The truth is that if he's not useless, then he should maintain the stance that he's not useless and leave Sowore to be saying what he's saying. So you shouldn't, because Sowore called him useless, we're not gonna arrest him. So after intense public pressure, legal intervention, and online campaign. I mean, after they arrested him, people were even saying free Sowore. The activist has finally been released from Kuje Prison. Sources close to legal team confirmed that his release came after days of negotiation and court filing challenging his unlawful detention. Upon his release, guys, Sowore reportedly appeared calm but defiant, vowing not to be silent and promising to continue his advocacy for justice and transparency in Nigeria. The Showore's was echoed through social media platform. They can't detain my body, but not my voice. The struggle continues until Nigeria becomes truly free. His supporters across the country has hailed his release as a victory for democracy and a reminder that the Nigerian people will not remain silent in the face of oppression. So Showore's release isn't just a personal win, it's a political statement. It reveals how dissent is still treated as a crime in Nigeria. Now, it raises critical questions about the independence of the judiciary, the abuse of police power, and the state of human rights in the country. Guys, why is it that activists are being criminalized for speaking truth to power? Why? Why do we still witness arbitrary detention despite court orders and constitutional rights? Many Nigerians believe that Showore's ordeal reflects a deeper problem, a system where freedom of speech is conditional and justice often depends on who you are and what you say. Now, I want to talk about something. The way policemen are being used against people in this country is actually something that we Nigerians have to stand against it. Imagine, just like what happened to Sowore. I mean, the ordeal with policemen and Sowore after he was released, at the court, after he was at the magistrate court. After he was released, people were jubilating, guys, not for them to see armored car as if there is a war, armored car, they came, policemen stormed, about 50 of them stormed, and the way they manhandled Sowore was really, really bad, as if he's a criminal. This is the same Sowore that have been protesting low payment, underpayments, no tension, underpayment of tension for policemen. These are the same policemen they will still use, against Sowore, guys. Sowore has protested for these policemen, for underpayment and a lot of things. This policeman will still be used against him. And then guys, the policemen came. They said they have a remand order with them, and people there were like, show us the remand order. Even Sowore was like insisting that this policeman will show me the remand order before I follow him anyway. This policeman refused to show him the remand order. You can imagine how they operate. That you're wearing uniform doesn't mean, ordinary Nigerians are seen like fool. If there was a remand order, actually, you would have just shown it to Sowore and showed it to prove that a remand order before Sowore can take you out anywhere, guys. Not because you're a policeman and you feel that you can just say something without showing proof and then the person will follow you. No, you have to give proof. This is my remand order. Show the public this is the remand order, and then Sowore can respect himself and take him out. Not for them to start dragging him. They even tore his shirt, manhandling him. According to Sowore, this is not the first time they are doing this. They have been doing this to him, so he doesn't see this as anything because they have been doing it to him, manhandling him and everything. It's actually very bad if the police are used against the people. Now, Maxwell will say, imagine, these policemen, they will not pay you what they'll still be using it and using you guys and be tear gassing protesters that are coming out to stand for truth, they're coming out to pour out their grievance. So you can see what is happening. This behavior by policemen need to stop. It needs to even stop, guys. It needs to stop. So many Nigerians actually believe that Shore's audio reflects a deeper problem, a system where freedom of speech is conditional and justice often depends on who you are and what you say. So with his release now, supporters are gearing up for what they call the next phase of the struggle. Analysts predict that Sowore may channel his renewed energy into political reawakening ahead of future election, using his platform to mobilize youth and to expose government corruption. However, government sources has warned that any attempt to incite unrest will be met with firm response, a statement that again underscores the fragile tension between activism and authority. So now the real question now is, will Nigeria finally learn to embrace dissent as part of democracy, or will the cycle of arrest, detention, and silencing continue? Do you know one thing? These policemen think arrest is everything. How long will they be arresting people before they get tired? How many Nigerians do you want to arrest? When the whole Nigerians now stand against this injustice in this country, against this fair treatment, against this marginalization, how many of them do you want to arrest? That was exactly what happened in Nepal. How many of them will you arrest? Those youth that came out protesting, how many of them do you want to arrest? So Omoyele Sowore release from Kuje is more than freedom for a man. It's a test of an entire nation's conscience, because in the end, democracy isn't defined by election alone. It's defined by how a country treats those who dares to speak the truth to power. So you can see, guys, yeah, people are actually very, very happy that he was released today. A lot. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this video from this very popular person. This very popular person. You guys know Kanoyo Kanoya. He said some things. Take a look, guys.
It was an appeal to the president to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and I still stand on it. Whether you like it or not, as a nation, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is my brother. I'll be stupid at my age to be afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of anybody. Worst case scenario now is that you go to school, you make a first class, you go and work for somebody who failed. In other climes, my brother, those
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police
called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and
no,
he had.
Is it not useless?
Well, it's not a lie.
Okay, so what's your word in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me. Since 1992, some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
Okay, the service chiefs.
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police.
Called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and
No,
he had.
is it not useless?
But it's not a lie.
Okay, so what's your word to in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me since 1992. Some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
Okay, the service chiefs.
So, guys, following Showore's release, a wave of reactions flooded the media space from activists, journalists, civil society groups, and ordinary Nigerians who saw his freedom as a symbolic moment of resistance. Prominent human rights lawyer Femi Falana described Showore's ordeal as a violation of human rights and due process, emphasizing that Nigeria cannot continue to criminalize activism in a democracy. The social commentators also pointed out that Showore's arrest once again revealed the growing intolerance for dissent within the Nigerian political class. On social media, the movement was fierce, with hashtags like Sowore is free and democracy on trial trending across Twitter and Facebook. Youth groups organized solidarity rallies in major cities like Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt, holding placards that read, "Freedom is not privilege, it is right. You cannot imprison the truth. An injury to one activist is an injury to one." It was not just a celebration of one man's freedom, but a statement of collective resilience against oppression. So, inside Kuje Prison, sources revealed that Sowore was kept under strict surveillance and isolated from several hours a day. According to accounts from his associates, he was denied adequate communication for days and subjected to repeated interrogation. But despite the harsh condition, Sowore reportedly maintained his composure, refusing to sign any statement or compromise his stance. So, a close ally told reporters Sowore was calm, strong, and focused. He told us that they can detain him, but they cannot silence him. That's that's that man's spirit is actually unbreakable. So this insight from inside Kuje gives a picture of what life look like for political prisoners in Nigeria, a mixture of fear, endurance, and quiet defiance. So Showere's legal team, led by a coalition of human rights lawyers, worked relentlessly to secure his release. They argued that his detention violated Section 35 of the Nigerian Constitution, which guarantees personal liberty, and cited precedents from the African Chapter on Human and People's Rights. Court filings revealed that the order used to remand him was obtained under suspicious circumstances, prompting the judge to review the process and demand clarification from the police. It was this legal persistence, combined with public pressure and intense media scrutiny, that finally forced the authorities to comply with the order and release him. So this case once again actually highlighted how public awareness and legal advocacy can work hand in hand to challenge abuse of power. So interestingly, the federal government and the Nigerian police has remained largely silent on the details surrounding it, and no official statement has been issued. The silence has only felt more suspicious among Nigerians who believe there is more, or there may be political undertone on behind the entire episode. So, guys, you might be wondering why Sowore keeps calling IGP illegal, because people are actually citing that could be the reason why they remanded him again, or there was an order for remand. Guys, okay, let me tell you how everything played out. When Shawari was arrested, the PRO came out to say that Aloy Ejimakor and Kano's brother called his name. First they arrested Aloy Ejimakor for actually paving way to the restricted areas for the Kano's protest. So the immediately after after a day, they came and arrested Sowore, and then the PRO came out to tell the public the reason why they arrested Sowore, saying that people they remanded say that Sowore led them into the restricted areas. Sowore led them into the restricted area. That is what Aloy Ejimaka and Kanu's brother, Kanu's younger brother, fine boy Kanu, said. So that was the reason why they remanded him. And then Sowore was now arrested, taken to they arrested him, and then they actually charged him to court. And then after the court, he was granted bail, guys, jubilation again. And then after some time, he was arrested again, guys. You can see he was arrested again, and people were like, what must have happened? That was the one that we're asking ourselves, what would have happened? People are saying, oh, it's because he got the IGP illegal. That would be the reason why he was arrested. Now, this is the reason why Shore always call IGP useless. This is the reason. Now, Shore will always just like, okay, just listen to this video one more time, and then I'll explain to you why he always call IGP useless. Guys, take a look, guys.
That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police
Called Egbetokun a useless IGP, and
no,
he had.
is it not useless?
Was not allowed.
Okay, so what's your word to in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time they will do that. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks on me. Since 1992, some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to us who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. And they understand it. That's why they lose their mind. So I have been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs, and some of them I've had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what we do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
Okay, the service chiefs.
So, guys, you heard what Shore said. Even after everything, you still called IGP useless to tell you that he's not backing out anytime soon. So he said somebody that he knows that he's no more in the police force. So you'll be wondering why Shore is always, on his stand calling IGP useless. Now, this is the reason. Shore was the one that exposed and told the public as at that time that the IGP's tenure has expired. That was according to him. That's what he said. He said the IGP's tenure has expired, and then they unlawfully extended it, guys. So Shawara has been actually saying that for some time. Obviously, that anybody that says the truth in Nigeria is an enemy. So because of that, there's been this issue with IGP and Shawara. Any small thing arrest, guys. Using that way. So Moyola Shawara called the current IGP illegal because, according to him and several constitutional experts, the IGP's tenure has expired, yet the government instead it unlawfully outside the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution and the Police Act. Why I'm saying this is because of people are saying it's because of he called the IGP useless. That was why they remanded him again. In fact, there was a remand order which the police refused to show the public that truly there was a remand order. So this is the arrest. It's something that has sparked suspicious. In fact, it has sparked outrage because people are now condemning police. Imagine you guys will not go to the bush with armored car. It's because of Shawari guys, deployed 50 men, even brought armored car as if there's a war going on. That was the reaction coming from people, when he was arrested. So, guys, you can see when it comes to war or terrorists, you will not see these policemen. But when it comes to people that are saying the truth, you will see them in their numbers. They will deploy them in their numbers. So, according to Sowore, he said that IGP's tenure has expired, and then the government extended it unlawfully outside the provision of the Nigerian Constitution and the Police Act. So, under the Police Act 2020, an officer service in the Nigerian police force automatically ends at the age of 60 or after 35 years in service, whichever comes first. So, this controversy began when the IGP, who had reportedly reached the mandatory retirement age, was allowed by the presidency to continue in office beyond the legal limits. So, this kind of tenure extension by Sowore and many critics, they argue that this is unconstitutional and politically motivated, as it undermines the rule of law and institutional integrity. So imagine, and that period, I think the IGP was telling others to retire, I think, and then his tenure has finished, and he was supposed to retire, and he did. That was why Sowore was like, calling him illegal and all of that. So because of that, there's this beef between him and the IGP. You can see. So people are saying that because of magistrate court released him, they felt that magistrate court will remind him or deny him bail because they released him, and they'll be like, things did not go well for them. Things did not go out planned for them. They now came and remanded him, brought a remand order. They flashed a paper saying we have a remand order and Sowore has to go with us. That was how they arrested him the second time. Oh. So because of that arrest, that sparked outrage. Do you know the truth? Sowore is not back in town anytime soon. How many people would this police see? If they want to start their arrest, how many people will they arrest? If Nigerians can rise like Nepal, you to stop all this using of policemen against citizens, innocent voices, how many do they want to arrest? Look at Kano's protest. They packed. I'm not even sure that these protesters that they packed. I don't mean Aloy or Kano's brother. I mean the 10 protesters that they arrested. Is it 13? I don't know if they have released them because they are actually bail condition. Aloy Ejimakor, Aloy Ejimakor actually met his bail condition. Even after he met it, this guy, what was his name? Maxwell came out to say that they delayed in even signing it. That was what led to his collapse in Kuje Prison. They delayed even after meeting his bail condition. So you can see what is going on. I don't know if there's a gang up for people that speaks the truth to power. Guys, so I am sure said IGP who overstayed his legal service period is technically occupying office illegally and therefore has no constitutional authority to give orders, arrest citizens, or even represent the police force officially. So Sowore, who has been vocal against abuse of power, saw this as yet another example of Nigerians' political elites bending the law for their own convenience, while ordinary citizens are being punished for minor infractions. So you can see beyond legality, Shore's statement also carried a symbolic weight. He was challenging not just the IGP as an individual, but what he sees as a pattern of lawlessness in governments where rules are selectively applied and loyalists to the presidency often overrides constitutional order. So his outburst calling the IGP illegal was actually essentially a protest against impunity at the top level of Nigeria's security structure. So people that saw what happened were even, do you know the worst of it? People that saw when he was arrested said even a lawyer, a barrister that was calling his client to know where he was because the policemen came with their armored cars. Everywhere was filled. There was tension everywhere. Everywhere, it's as if there was a war going on. What I mean, why they just came to remand or to take Showore. They came as if there's a war going on. If they can put this energy to the terrorists in the bush, do you think we'll be having insecurity problem? Hmm? Do you think we'll be having insecurity problem in this country? So even a barrister that was calling his client to know that has a case in court that same day to know where he was, guys. They actually arrested him. They took him because they don't want anybody to video them because they know that what they are doing is very wrong. They look at the way they beat Shuri as if he's a criminal. What is really going on in this country? When will all these things end? When will all these things end? People don't have a voice. they treat people like, you see, all this police brutality has not even stopped. What caused the NSAS? It does not yet stop. They keep doing many things in disguise form, keep doing a lot of things. This is very bad. This is Sowore that has once, Sowore is one person in Nigeria that I know that have protested for policemen against. Imagine this man, bringing out his time and everything, coming out to protest pension. Imagine somebody serving. Do you know one thing I will just say? All these policemen, imagine after your service of work, what you get. There was this policewoman that said she served 35 years for police, and then they gave her, was it 2 million that she said? She said she rejected it. What is 2 million naira? Even people that are in the force, how much are you getting that they will use you to, in the citizens that are coming out to pour out their grievance to government to make things better, even coming out to protest for you, you will still be used against them, to tear gas them, to injure them, to use blood against them. It is very wrong. Like I keep on saying this, when Nigerians will rise and demand accountability and demand an end to this, or say enough is enough, how many would they arrest? How many would they arrest? There will not be room self to for even any arrest. Look at what happened during the NSAS. People will keep on saying that this policeman has not changed. People will keep on voicing that they have not changed. The same pattern is what they are still doing. The same pattern of using weapon. Look at what happened in the NSAS. The same method they used to buy people is what they are still doing. People that came out to say free Mazin and the Kanu, the Mazin and the Kanu in question, what has he done? No, now they should come and quote what he has done. If he has done it, why can't they convict him? Why are they still keeping him there? If there's truly a crime, they should prove him guilty and convict him. But they have not proven him guilty. So Kanu is as innocent as a man that has not committed anything. So you can see what is going on, guys. But thank God they've released Sowore. Let's see how everything will play out. Let's see how everything will play out. Kanu in court today actually defended. In fact, he refused to open any defense because he said there's nothing to defend. There is nothing to defend. That was what Kanu said in court. There is nothing to defend. They should strike out. They should throw out this case. That was what Kanu said. So, guys, let's see how all this will play out, because this Sowore in question is still, is still, how will I put it? He's not backing down anytime soon. And Sowore said this is the beginning. We are still coming for more protests for Mazin and the Kanu. Kanu must be out. That was what Sowore said. So, guys, thank you for watching. Do also hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Don't forget to drop a comment under the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.